I'm going to talk about the 6 facets of taste. There are 2 things that are associated with our tongue. One is speech and one is taste. One, we are asked by our elders to be careful how we use it, and the other, we have to be careful how we use it so that it does not affect our health. That is the taste. And of course, don't speak too much, say our elders. Right. What is Shadruchi? Shadruchi are the 6 different tastes that we use or experience when we eat, drink something. Ayurveda says that the taste at the tip of your tongue is actually the barometer that looks after your health. If there is something that you do not like, you go off sour food or you go off sweets, that means your body at that time does not need it. So the tongue tells you what is important for you. Taste buds not only identify tastes for the brain, but they also provide the nutritional trigger to what you eat. For example, your tongue tells you something is too hot or too cold, too sweet or too bitter, too salty or lacking salt, absolutely. So that is what your tongue tells you about the food. And if you can listen to what your tongue says, your health is in your tongue, not in your hands as most people say. Ayurveda identifies 6 tastes called Shadruchi. Shad means 6, Ruchi is the taste. Madhu is sweet, Amla is sour. Amla is actually the nelika which we love to eat as a pickle. Lavana is the salty food. Tikta is the bitter one. And Kati is pungent. The final one is Kashaya or astringent. I'm sure you're quite familiar with the word Kashayam, which your mother or your grandmother insisted that you drink when you had some stomach upset or illness or fever or whatever. That Kashaya is the astringent quality. I'm going to show you some food stuff that generally reflects these tastes. Let's start with the sugar. This is the sweet sugar. And another piece of sugar, the vellam or the gourd or the molasses, which is unrefined sugar, which is actually much more healthy for you than the refined sugar. Many people are even taking to having vellam or the gourd with their tea, their coffee instead of the sugar. That's why most of our sweets, the good sweets, especially in the Hindu system of food, is cooked with gur. It is now that we have got all these barfis and sugar-based kaju katli, this, that and all that. But even the payasam was made with gur. If you go to a temple, very rarely you get, especially in the south, very rarely you get a prasadam with sugar. It is mostly with gur. In fact, Pongal or when you do a puja to Devi, Durga, Amman, it is always a vellam-based payasam that you make. This is puri, tamarind, and these are lemons. I'm sorry, the lemons are only a little, they're not so fresh, but anyway, these are lemons. Then we have ginger. Ginger gives a kind of a pungency, and it is the best medicine that you can have in your house. I also have powdered ginger, what we call shukku, which is what I'm going to show you in a kashayam actually. I'm going to show you a fresh green ginger kashayam, and I'm going to show you the same thing with shukku. This is shukku, okay? And the I don't have anything, I don't have amla, but I've got nartanga, which is what is astringent, really speaking. It's got a little bit of the bitterness, it's got the list. This is a kind of a lemon that is dried, salted and dried in the sun. And this is what is given to people with upset stomachs, really, because it gives you, first of all, the salt that is needed to balance your body out, to replenish your probiotic needs and this, and it also gives you hydration. So the salt, this is the nartanga. This is kadika. Kadika is hirada. It's called hirada in Sanskrit. This is a wonderful medicine, and we have lost the science of using this in homes. It is coming back now. It is very good as a powder. The skin is roasted and used. It is very good for constipation. For a person like me who uses my throat a lot, I just tuck a piece of kadika into my mouth, and it heals mouth ulcers, it heals laryngitis, and it is also excellent for chest conditions. So kadika is bitter. It is bitter. It is more bitter than supari or paku, but it is a wonderful herb to have. This is of course your green chili, and this is the red chili that provides the spice, the real spice. Either this is this or this. And of course I have some pepper for you. Where is my pepper? Yes, pepper, which is indigenous to India. The chili came in from outside. We use pepper. Even in fact, you must have noticed that when we have Shraddh ceremonies, we only use pepper. We don't use red chili or green chili in it because these were not indigenous items. But the pepper is. And we use a lot of pepper in our cooking. Pepper rasam, pepper korambu. We make pepper. We use potato pepper. We use pepper in our korambus. It is an important thing. And just like that, this is fenugreek, which is bitter. Fenugreek or methi or vendayam. This is a wonderful medicine as well. And it is used in the seasoning. I'm going to talk to you about seasoning later, how we use so many different things. So these are the Shadruchis that give you the tastes. Each one acts as a different trigger to the digestive process. The digestive process starts from the tongue because it starts the salivating process and then the digestion goes on. Talking of Shadruchi, I'm going to tell you a little story from the Ramayana. Sita was getting married to Rama. Dasharatha had come with his other sons, and there was a big wedding. There were 4 weddings that were taking place. And naturally, Janaka, being a king, had to provide for a beautiful feast, a dawat. What did he do? He was a sage, he was a very learned man. He not only combined the 6 tastes, but Tulsidas Raman says, he also used the experience in the eating itself. And there are 6 different experiences in the eating. What do? You lick, you chew, you crunch, you suck, you sip, and you swallow a whole rasagulla. So that is again 6 different ways of eating food, and each one again impacts on your digestive process. Isn't that a lovely story? We have been talking about eating, but in the Indian system there is a very interesting concept called fasting. That is, when not to eat food. In fact, there is a saying, Langanam Parama Aushadam. That means when you fast, Langanam means not eating anything, not intaking any food. That is the best Aushadam, or that is the best medicine. When you are not putting in things into your mouth, your body comes back to its natural equilibrium. Because just imagine a machine. A car keeps running and running. You need to put petrol, you need to top up the battery, you need to... So there is a time when the car has to stop to rest its engine. The same way, our system, our stomach, our digestive process needs to rest. And that is why the concept of fasting, especially Ekadashi fasting, and was brought into the routine of life, as it were. It is not only Ekadashi fasting, it is even other days that we do keep the fast. And today what people are saying is, even if you cannot fast, at least go off onion and garlic and just eat khichdi or pongal, rice, moong dal, vegetables with only jeera and asafoetida and maybe a little pepper. Have that for 3 days. And it's remarkable what it can do to your body. Sugar, which is refined molasses, really speaking. This is good or vellam or molasses. Tamarind or sour. What is amla? Amla is actually the nellika or the gooseberry. This is tamarind and these are lemons, which give the sourness to our food. Lavana, salt, without which food does not taste good, and it is a very, very important part of our food. Tikta, bitterness. I am showing you fenugreek or methi, vendayam, which is an important herb not only in our cooking but also in our medicinal science. This is powdered ginger, what is called sont or shukku in Tamil, and this is a real ginger, a root ginger. This is also an important part not only of cooking all over India, but it is also an important ingredient in making kashayam, a kind of a decoction that is made to given and given as a medicine. It is also part of many of the Ayurvedic preparations. Kashaya is astringent. This is nartanga. Nartanga is dried. It's a special kind of a lemon, and this is dry, salted and dried in the sun, and it is a wonderful remedy when you're having a bad stomach. Normally we have only curd rice, and we have this to replenish our body salts that are lost with the bad stomach, either with vomiting or with the diarrhea, and it is a probiotic remedy. This is pungent food that adds real spice to your khana, what we call chili factor. The chili is not an indigenous product. The chili was brought in from outside of India. What is indigenous is the pepper. And in fact, India was invaded for the pepper, not for anything else. And this pepper is an indigenous thing. It's a healer again. It's much better than eating chili. If you eat pepper, it's much better for your system than your chili. The red chili, there are hundreds of varieties of red chilies. And even in India, we have the bedgi, we have the little fat ones that are from Madurai. We have the Kashmir chili, which is just color and no spice. And the hottest chili is supposed to be grown in Assam. I forget the name, but sometime I'll get back that name to you. So chili is an important, don't think that chili is just for spice for the tongue. It's very good for your stomach. It's again part of the digestive process. And if you completely avoid chili, you're losing out on something. Indian cooking is so finely tuned to your system, what your system needs, and what is good for you, for your well-being, that our cooking, our recipes, the ingredients that we use, everything has got a particular meaning. The only thing is, all these meaning has been lost in the mists of time. And through this program, Venkat and I are trying to revive these memories, to bring it to the forefront of a now generation. And I hope you enjoy doing this with us.